Hello and welcome to another English lesson where we will be doing the English workshop exercises of the lesson, The Swiss Family Robinson, a synopsis. Question 1. Two separate words combine together to make a new word with a different meaning. Now this different word with a different meaning is a compound word. Using a dictionary, find the meanings of the following compound words. Now, I have already found the meanings. You may write the same meanings or you can open the dictionary and find the meanings of these words. Now, if you look at the first word, arm is a part of your hand. Loads is something that is heavy. But when you put it together, it forms a compound word, arm loads, which means an amount which can be carried or a load that can be carried with both arms. Similarly with driftwood. Drift meaning to just float on water, and wood is something we use to make furniture. But when I put them together, they form a compound word, driftwood, meaning pieces of wood floating on the sea or have been washed onto the shore or the beach. Similarly with the words cross currents, footprints, fireplace and spyglass. All of them are compound words. The second question. The following words can be used as nouns and as verbs. So one word can be used as a noun, which is a naming word, as well as a verb, which is an action word. Now you have to make two sentences of your own using each word as a noun and that same word as a verb in another sentence. Hold. Hold is the word given to you. You have to make a sentence using hold as a verb and hold as a noun. She has a strong hold over her children. What does she have? She has something which is called a hold, a naming word. Therefore, hold becomes a noun here. And let me hold the bag for you. Hold is the action here. Okay? So one word hold is now used as a noun in a sentence and a verb in a sentence. Second one, value. This watch is of great value, used as a noun. I value, I am doing something, an action. So here it is used as a verb. I value our friendship. Knot. She tied the string in a knot and he knotted his tie loosely. Similarly, we have travel. Travel gives me happiness. I travel abroad a lot. So here, what gives me happiness? The naming word, the answer is travel. So travel here is a noun. And in the second sentence, I am doing something. I travel abroad a lot. So in the second sentence, travel is used as a verb. Return. The mother waited a long time for him to return. What did she wait for? Him to return. So return becomes a noun. I must return some books to the library where I am doing some work of returning. Therefore, that word return is used as a verb in the second sentence. Reach. The knife was within his reach. What was the knife within? His reach. So whenever I ask a question what and I get the answer as a naming word, that is a noun. And whenever there is some action being done, they didn't reach. So they didn't reach the hotel till late night. Reach becomes the verb. Knock. There was a loud knock on the door. What was on the door? A knock. Whereas in the second sentence, it is the action word. Don't knock. So knock becomes the verb in the second sentence. Attack. He had a heart attack this afternoon. Most dogs will not attack until provoked. And the last word, mark. I saw the mark with my own eyes. What did I see? Mark. So when I ask the question what and I get the answer to that, that word is a noun. So that is the way for you to understand how I am using the same word as a noun. And as a verb, of course, it is the action word. Therefore, mark each box with an X. Third question, in a mixed order below, there are some good human attributes or values of the family, Swiss Family Robinson. Now pick out from the box and write it against each line that reflects it. Now these are the qualities or the attributes of the family given. And the first sentence, the father told Fritz the gourds would make excellent bowls and spoons, and they cut them into various utensils. So here they cut the gourd from the tree and they made them into vessels or utensils, bowls, spoons. So that shows resourcefulness. Second one, after some days, Elizabeth informed that she wanted the family to move to a safer place. Cautiousness, she's worried, so she's being careful. Thinking ahead of winter, father decided to create a place safe from elements. So thinking ahead is foresight. Next one, father taught the boys geometry and how to use triangles to measure big objects. So this is knowledge, not only knowledge but how to apply that knowledge. The next sentence, he believed his daughter was still alive after 3 years. It's 3 years and he's still believing. So that is perseverance and having a positive attitude. 10 years had passed and the young boys grew to be young men and their parents were proud of them. Family bonds. And the last sentence, Fritz felt that someone needed his help and he was determined to find the sender. Humanity and sensitivity. The next question, write in your own words how the Robinson family made each of their homes. The Robinson family's first home was a tent. They set it up and softened the floor with armloads of grass. They cut and spread to serve as their beds. That was their first home. Their second house was built on a tree nearly 40 feet in diameter. The branches were long and served as perfect platforms for a tree house. They knotted rope at certain intervals, attached pieces of bamboo, and made a ladder. The third house was a cave. They carved it out of a rock. They made an opening or a door by picking at the hard rock surface with axes, chisels, hammers, and shovels. Then they cut windows in the rock for air and sunlight. When they finished, they had a winter home with 4 rooms and a fireplace. Finally, their fourth house. They used 4 strong trees growing in a square near one another as the foundation. The trees were about 12 feet apart. On this, they built another bigger tree house. So they had 4 houses in all. Expand the following ideas in a paragraph or 2. Now, this is a writing skill, which is expansion of an idea. The first one is where there is a will, there is a way. Okay. Now, I'm not going to expand the idea for you here. Just a small synopsis given to you, a small little, outline where you are going to use that and expand on this idea in about 10 to 12 lines in one single paragraph. Now, this proverb teaches us that if we are determined to do something, we will find a way to accomplish or to do it in spite of obstacles and difficulties we may face. If we have enough determination, we can achieve our goals or aims in life. So you understand this and write a passage about 10-12 lines on this proverb. The second one, courage and resourcefulness are the keys to overcome problems. Now, courage is to be brave and resourcefulness is to use the ability to use things which are available to you in a good manner, like how the Swiss Family Robinson, they got plants or fruit from the vegetables from the tree like goats, and they made it into utensils for them to eat. Okay, that is called resourcefulness. So courage and resourcefulness are necessary to overcome challenges and problems. If you have courage, nothing else is required. Courage is the voice of self-confidence in man, pushing him to do better and better with all the resources available to him. The last question. Read about the novel Robinson Crusoe by the author Daniel Defoe and Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. Now, these are some books, again very adventurous kind of fiction books written, and they have been read by people over the generations. So if you get a chance, read both these books.